check out this crankbait. I've been killing it. Look at that thing. What a great fish. Today's goal, catch a largemouth, catch a smallmouth, catch a big one, right? That's what it always is. Welcome to Lake Wilson. Bunch of current pumping, had a bunch of rain, water should have some color. There's obviously a fishing tournament out here, but Mikey didn't get up till like 10 o'clock, so I'm a little late. But a lot of people are fishing the current. We're gonna actually mix it up. We're gonna fish some bluff walls. We're gonna fish some kind of like little current eddies. We're gonna go out here and we are gonna fish like straight up on the dam too as well. But we're gonna use a mixture of baits. And I really wanna catch a smallie. I haven't caught a big smallie yet this year. So it's about time. As usual, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hopefully it's gonna be a lot easier fishing in the current with this new Ghost, because this is the first time I've had spot lock and I got it set up with my Battleborn batteries. So I got lithium batteries, dude. I got a ton of power and I got spot lock. So I can go out there and just hit a button and just stay put. I'm excited. But we do have a life jacket for Bog because you gotta be safe out there. So come on, Bog, let's go. Let's go. Go. Big largemouth. Big largemouth. Got you. Look how fat that joker is. Wow. Guys, we're throwing like this multicolored spinnerbait with like colored blades. It's actually a trick we tried on Cumberland right there. I'm in the shade because I'm on a bluff wall, but look how fat that's what they look like pre-spawn. Wanting to spawn. Caught on a multi-blade spinnerbait. Let's get her released real quick. See ya. Smoked it. So we got kind of interesting conditions. They're pumping a lot of water because we got a lot of rain. So it's making this water really colored and it's dirtied up a bit. Usually I throw like a 3-blade spinnerbait on this kind of stuff, like a white one. But I had some spinnerbaits left over when we went to Lake Cumberland, and Wilson's kind of a smallie lake, so they got painted blades. Thought I'd mix it up, show them a little more color, and give it a try. Maybe it's something different. Fish. Oh God, that's a giant freaking largemouth. Oh, we're gonna need the net, Bog. Look out. She's only got one hook. Guys, we're using this new, I switched up and got this flat-sided crank. Oh God, it's the Berkley. She got both. Got you. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly, Bog. Look out, look out, look out. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. Oh, look out. Dude, she freaking annihilated it too. She wasn't coming off, I'll tell you that much. This is that new Berkley Frittside, and I gotta send a shout out to my buddy Tyler. He kind of put me on it. He's like, bro, check out this crankbait. I've been killing it. Look at that thing. Big old belly. Let's let her go real quick. What a great fish. Well, we just caught a stout largemouth. Ironically, we haven't caught a smallie yet. We caught 2 big largemouth. But what we're finding is these fish are kind of suspended. I did figure this out a little bit last year, where they'll suspend off like these bluff walls, and this in particular is a point. But let me show you something kind of interesting. If you take a look at my C-map, so I was cranking, and I'll show you the crankbait in a minute. I was cranking kind of like the hard tip of the point, basically where the crankbait would hit the bottom. I'm running one of those, I think it's a Frittside, I think it's the 7 size. And so it would bonk the bottom. I'm probably in like 6, maybe 7 feet of water. But what happened is I got off that point and brought that crankbait off and just kept reeling it, lost bottom contact, and all of a sudden, whoop, freaking she sucked it in. But we're using something kind of classic on a dirty water situation or on a mixed water situation. Let me get this crankbait in here. I like orangish colors, something that kind of, maybe it looks like a crayfish, maybe it's got some red in it, but something like that. I forgot what it's called. I'll put it down in the description box at Tackle Warehouse. But it's a cool little crank because you see the bill on there too. a lot of these rocks are very snaggly, and those kinds of bills where they have that octagonal or that three-sided front, they tend to deflect a little bit better. So I was able to kind of walk it through the big chunk rocks that are up there shallow and then get it out over that open water, and she just annihilated it. I'm gonna throw to it again, but it's kind of an interesting thing. Both of our fish have not been like directly kind of relating to the bottom. They've been kind of up. They're next to kind of like a higher object, whether it's a bluff wall or a point, but they're up in the water even though it's so dirty. Fish on. Look at bug. There we go. There we go. On that Frittside again, dude. That's a cool bait. And it really locks them up. That's a solid one. They're so fat. That's a good one. I think that's a smallie. That's another big largemouth. Come here. Gotcha. Look at that thing. Oh, Bog, that's a good one. Look at that. Things are heating up. Look at this chunk, dude. I mean, that is a stout bass fish here. Come here, bass fish. I know the water's super cold. Dude, just look how fat that thing is. We're gonna get her released. It's so funny, man. I was throwing, see you later, girl. I was throwing that multicolored spinnerbait, and it's about, I think it's actually a 1 ounce and not a 3/4. And I think I was getting a little too deep. The water's warming up, and it warms up from the top down during spring this time of year. And I picked up my 3-blade, and it's a D&M custom baits. It's a, I forget what it's called. I think it's like a sniper, but it's a multi-blade spinnerbait. It's this guy right here. And I absolutely love that thing out here for bluff walls, because I can throw it just like I'd throw an A-rig, but I don't hang it as much. There's a bunch of trees and just stuff that kind of you get snagged on, and it rides right through that stuff. It's 3/4 ounce, so I can kind of slow roll it down to like 6 foot, and that seems to be like the magic, like 3 to 7 feet, just slow rolling. And the water's a little clearer up here. We move down the lake, and usually on these TVA lakes, the lower in the lake you go, the clearer the water gets, and I think that helps a little in this situation. I'm getting fired up. We might even see some like staging fish up shallow. We might check out some creeks in a little bit. Well, we've really beat the main lake to death, and the water's really warmed up. It's went up like 4 degrees or so since we've been here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push back in some of these creeks like this and take a look around and see if we can't find some staging fish. I don't think they're spawning yet, but a lot of the fish that we've caught on the main lake have been few and far between. And usually if they're in a real pre-spawn mode, like out on that main lake, they're gonna be in pods. And the water's a little dirty, but I'm not getting the signals. We might go fish a few more bluff walls. That's a way you can get like a giant, but I'm just not getting the signals that they're out there. So we're gonna mix it up. You got to be kind of adaptable. Spring, things are always changing. It's like Florida times 1,000. So what do you say, Bog? No, you're just suntanning. Bog doesn't care where we go, just so we're fishing. So let's talk about skipping a jig real quick. We got a dock right in front of us, and I got a 5/16 ounce swim jig. This is the goat swim jig, little burner crawl in there, and it's that smooth belly that kind of makes the big difference. 40-pound braid, fast action reel, and a heavy action rod. And all you're gonna do is make a little roll cast. You see how it just kind of skips like that? And then all you're gonna do is just start reeling. It's a great way to cover water, and you gotta pick angles on these docks. It looks like I have a little bit better window to get in from this side, but really all it is just a roll cast and kind of keep your rod tip up, and you just start reeling. And you really vary your reel, how fast you're gonna reel based upon the water temp. It's upper 50s, almost 60 right now. So we're going pretty consistent, but it's all reaction bite. A lot of it's almost just like imagining you're throwing a crankbait. If you get a little kind of rat's nest or something, just let out a little extra line and just reel. And dude, when they eat it, they knock it. skip that jig right on it. Nice. Look at that thing, dude. That's on the on the new Gambler swim jig. So we sort of pushed back in a creek, and this happened. Come here. Dude, look at that thing. That is like a 3.5, 4 pounder. Look how fat that thing is. That's so awesome. Let's let her go. See you later. So I've talked to you guys about the new goat swim jig that I helped design, and basically what I did is I put that on a heavy action. This is a rave. It's kind of a moderate bend rod. That's what I like to throw a swim jig on. And that dock right there, we made 2 skips under it, didn't do anything, just a slow pulsated reel. That second skip, dude, like 3 cranks and she ate it. But what's kind of cool with this, I'm throwing up 5/16, and I've talked to you, you see how the belly is kind of like smooth like that? It's kind of got a ballast. I don't even know what you call it, but it skips super good, especially on braid, dude. It's really, really easy to skip. Got a burner crawl in there, just a white little deal. I'm trying to cover water. The water temp's going up pretty fast, so that bluff bite kind of, it really dropped off the radar. So we pushed back in these creeks to try to chase them down, and we're gonna keep trying some of this. That was freaking cool. I haven't caught a fish on a swim jig in a while. Well, my homies, that's a wrap on this round of spring fishing. Always keep in mind, be versatile. You know, I'm learning in this process, and I get confused a lot. I get on the rails a lot, and I scramble a lot. So I'm not always making and executing on the best decisions. But I did kind of adapt, which I was sort of happy with, and I really learned something today. You know, we fished those bluff walls. We caught some good ones. The bites were just few and far between. That is more of a late winter, early spring pattern. And I knew that, you know, like, so kind of reframing. We went shallow. We caught a couple fish. That swim jig, dude, definitely check out the goat. If you like to skip docks and you want something with a stout hook, check out the goat, dude. It skips amazingly with that little flat on the bottom of the head. But highlight of the baits, I want you guys to check it out, and I'll put a link to it down in the description box. But you guys need to check out these Berkley Frittside crankbaits. You see how flat they are? And they have this cool kind of octagonal bill, dude. They really deflect off of a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of cool colors, and the hooks are actually really sweet on them. I didn't change out the hooks, and every single fish I caught on them was super duper pinned. Yes, Bob. But check them out. It's the Berkley Frittside. But what's cool is they come in like a super shallow, a medium deep, and then like a deeper version. I think there's 3 or 4. I can't remember. But the colors are sick. And dude, that profile, if you guys see, it's a perfect kind of early spring and spring bait. It's almost like a rattle trap, but it's a square bill. And I found Rick Clunn used to have a bait out that had a bill somewhat like this. That style square bill, that sort of octagonal deal, it really deflects well off of stuff, and especially when you're throwing it, you can see there's a bunch of rock and wood. You're gonna get hung up whether you like it or not, but it really does deflect pretty well. And make sure you're throwing it on a pretty like soft cranking rod. I got it on that 7-foot Halo Black Widow. It's kind of a medium cranking rod, and the reason you want that is the fish don't really hit it, they just kind of load up on it. Same with spinnerbait, but I do like spinnerbait to have a little more feel to it. I threw that on this 7-foot medium heavy. And if you guys haven't checked out those D&M custom baits 3-blade spinnerbaits, where is that joker? It's this guy right down here. They are absolutely sick, dude. It's perfect if you throw an A-rig or if you got a bunch of bait balls swimming around and you need something that'll go through cover better and you can fish around cover without getting hung up all the time, because that A-rig, dude, you will hang it left and right. You will catch fish, but you will hang it left and right. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We are checking out Bog. You want to go in? You want to go in? Or you want to go have dinner? Yeah. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate your support on the videos. We are really growing this channel, and it is all thanks to you guys. So we're out. Tight lines. We'll see you back on the water from the Bass Cave.